Well, disappointing, into our season. Feel bad for our seniors. I didn't do a good job. I couldn't get our team to play in the second half the way we needed to play. I thought we did a lot of really good things in the first half, and ended it in great style with a nice set play and basket by Gabe. But unfortunately, we just couldn't get their energy back up in the second half, and the game a little bit showed some of our deficiencies defensively. We just stopped playing a little bit, and when guys get down like that, good players can kind of relax and just kind of shoot and play with confidence. And we let a couple guys make a couple shots. We couldn't get some rebounds, and then as the game wore on, obviously we got tight, and just didn't make any plays, and so disappointed again, and feel really bad, especially Jerron and City. I thought those two guys, really played well in a lot of ways. Jerron had it's fitting for him to finish his career 24-8, big game, and it's fitting for City to get 11 rebounds. Avery obviously didn't have the kind of game that we would have liked for him to have, but man, he had a really good career and scored over 1,000 points and shot the ball exceptionally well all season and improved. And so I'm down and disappointed for them. And obviously we let a great opportunity to play more big games get away from us with a poor second half. Questions?
Coach, were you surprised they were able to beat you on the boards, offensive boards, the way they were?
Yeah, well, some of that was, we did such a poor job, and it's funny that, Jalen Hayes, gets hurt, and so maybe the two wings, Walker wings, both, felt a little bit more free to go make plays, and we got lost off of those guys in screening action more in the second half than we did in the first half. And so sometimes our post players were extending and helping on screening action, and so when the shot's going up, their guy now has inside position. And then there were some long rebounds and missed blockouts, and again, I think it just goes back to energy, and it goes back to competitive fight and being ready to go, and it's just I couldn't get them to get back into it in the second half, and that's on me. I've got to be able to get these guys' attention and get them back in there, and we let a good team hang around for a while and build confidence, and then they beat us.
That's obviously, I guess, the most disappointing part, right?
Yeah. Obviously, I'm disappointed the way we played. And again, just we played a lot of good basketball for a good part of this season. We had a very good non-conference record, even when we didn't have a couple guys. We certainly didn't have a great record in the league, but I think we played 20 conference games, and 18 of the conference games in the last minute we're in a possession of the game, so we're right there. What is really frustrating, disappointing, and hurts is that you played some of your worst basketball in the last 20 minutes of the season. You played good basketball the first 20 minutes, and then the last 20 minutes you didn't play. And again, that's my responsibility.
Second half, was it more shot selection, execution? What would you
I think it was a couple different things. I think Shelton tweaking in his ankle, I thought hurt us because we lost some pace, and we didn't get down the floor like we needed to in some stages. Some of it was every time they're scoring, we're taking the ball out of the net, so your offense isn't as good because the other team's set and they're applying some pressure and doing some good things. And then there's some quick shots, and that's what this team. It's been the fight. The only fight with this team offensively has been because we have a lot of guys who can score. They all want to try to score almost every time they catch it, and sometimes we need to go more to JB. Sometimes we need to get it to Marquise when he's hot, or Avery when he's making some shots, and that's been the struggle offensively with this team. Is we have 7 or 8 guys that can score the ball. But because of that, guys break things off sometimes, and we go, there's a fine line between giving them freedom to go make plays and allowing them to to do their own thing sometimes. And when we get nervous or when things don't go well sometimes, guys want to help. They want to win. They want to do the right thing, and they have confidence in themselves. So sometimes they break things off, and you saw that tonight. And when that happens, sometimes we take quick shots, and usually those shots aren't good shots. And so that hurt us tonight, and it's happened a couple other times this year. We've gotten better at it throughout the course of the season. You know, we've been a team that hasn't turned the ball over a lot, but when that happens, that's when our offense goes bad.
Were you a little bit surprised that City and Eli and those guys didn't get more touches, given the size that maybe they had?
Yeah, the only hard part is, you know, it's not as easy to post two players anymore. And so, you know, most of the time we post Jerron. And so it's not as easy then to post Jerron and post City or post, you know, City, that's not his strength. Elijah just wasn't in a good place tonight. And, you know, that was disappointing. But it's hard to post two guys sometimes because of spacing and the way teams guard us, so we end up posting Jerron more times than not. But I would have thought we would have gotten a couple more putbacks and some other things. The one thing, they're not big and strong except for the Hill Mays kid, but they do have a couple guys that are long shot blockers. And you saw Jerron have to really loop some shots up high, and I thought they affected us a couple times.
Coach, it seemed like you benefited from the foul rule in the third quarter, if you will,
Yeah,
and then at the end of the game it hurt you.
It really hurt us.
How much did that influence the game one way or the other?
I think it did because we didn't get bonus free throws. And when you're struggling offensively and you're aggressively taking it to the basket, you know, we would have liked to have, you know, we got into the 5 fouls, you know, in the first 10 minutes or whatever. We obviously would have gotten more free throws. We had to start back over at the 10-minute mark, and then we didn't get into it. The second part of it, we didn't get into it as much. And, you know, when you're in the bonus, you're almost telling your guys every time, like, hey, drive the ball, be aggressive, take it to the rim. We're in the bonus. We're in the double bonus, whatever it is. And at the 10-minute mark, when we kind of were struggling to score, we needed that. And I think at that point they were really low. Maybe they had 2 fouls and we had 5 on them. And so it really would have affected us and helped us. But, I mean, that's just the nature of the change, and that's part of the reason why they're doing it.
Does this change your confidence level at all as you head into your end of season chats?
No, I
with
think
administrators?
sometimes it's a good reminder of you know, the honest dialogue you need to have with your guys. You know, we have some good players, but we have guys that need to improve, and obviously we're losing an outstanding one in Jerron, and 2 other guys that are good players that play significant minutes and played well. But we still have good players coming back. But it is a reminder to them that, you know, they've got to take another step as players. And, you know, there's got to be somebody that's going to make some of these plays for us next year when Jerron's not here. And unfortunately, tonight we weren't able to do that.
You still feel okay about your chat with Radikovich coming up?
Yeah, I do. I don't know that, you know, anything changed other than we had a bad half. Maybe it did, but I don't think so.
Anything else, y'all?